Hey there everyone, Hanyou here, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 1 Onikakushi. It's actually starting to get easier to say that the more often I say it. Anyway, we will be carrying on where we left off last time, and the last time we left off we had just finished having lunch after a date? Question mark thing? I don't know, it was like a three-way date. And that ended up with us going to the dump together. And apparently there's something bad happened there, and I don't know. Anyway, carrying on. Thinking about it, of course it would be like that. This wasn't the type of thing girls would enjoy talking about. It was quite a disturbing incident. It seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms. If it's just like Tomatake-san said, then I had a feeling only the Higurashi would know. Should have just kept going till I hit that card. You've received new tips. Alright, new tips. The Mebara Manor. Let's start there. So, Kei-chan, you're not stinking rich. What is this all of a sudden? Did I come to a school in a limo before? How much do you get for a monthly allowance? About $10. My, that's a rather plebeian amount. His lunch is made up of normal stuff. He isn't rich. What are they talking about? To be asked out of nowhere how much I get and then told that's a plebeian amount? Sorry. Rena seemed to pick up on my dubious expression and started giggling. Kei-chan, your house, it's pretty big, yeah? So the architecture has people all around Hinamizawa calling it the Mebara Manor, and it sort of stands out. Mebara Manor? Since the house is so big, everyone is gossiping, wondering exactly how rich you are. I see. Now I get it. Well, the frame of it is huge. I see how it could cause some misunderstandings. From my deduction, I'd wager they spent too much money on building the house, and that is why they are now broke. Being broke, how very unfortunate. How very, very unfortunate. Rika-chan took pity on me as she patted my head. I go from being treated like a millionaire to a beggar. Yeah, sorry for ruining your imagination, but we aren't millionaires or poor. We're the image of a normal average household. You can't call it normal with that huge house. The entranceway is all grand and the gate is large enough for a large truck to get through. That's not normal at all. They do say the bigger your house, the more prosperous you are. The reason the house is so big is because Dad's studio is in it too. There are a bunch of different workshops and lots of his works are hung up in different places. All of them are huge too. For those reasons, the family actually uses only a third of the house for day-to-day living. He planned it out so people and cars could come in and see the gallery he opens up in the house someday. By the way, the entranceway Mion is talking about is the one for the studio and is normally sealed off. The entranceway the Mebara family actually uses is a very plain and simple one. The interior is much different from how it looks on the outside. I'd really like a chance to explore Kei-chan's house. claiming not to be rich, but having a home like that. What could be hidden there? Maybe there's something cute hidden. Oh. They probably had no money to purchase furniture, so it's filled with Spartan rooms. If there are carpeted rooms, I would love to try rolling around on the floor. What? That'd be great. So great. I want to roll around too. Seems like their imaginations were just piling on. Well, sometime in the near future, it wouldn't be too hard to invite them all to my house. Dad is a sucker for the ladies, so he might even let them look around his studio. The cry of the Higurashi crescendoed as the sky towered over everything. It was hot, but the air was clear. It smelled like the beginning of summer. Alright, the Damn Sight Murder Dismemberment Newspaper Edition. Does that mean we're actually going to hear different variations of this? That's what it seems like. You know, I actually had the chance to watch the anime version of this, and now that I'm actually playing it for my channel, I'm glad that I didn't, because that would have spoiled a lot for me. From the June XXth. That actually narrows down the days that it could have taken place, that this newspaper clipping is from, because not all dates end with TH, there's ND and RD as well, so... and ST. Doesn't narrow it down much now that I think about it. The Shishibone City Okinomiya? Yeah. Okinomiya Police Station, June XXth, late at night. Suspects were arrested on suspicion of murder and improper disposal of a corpse. The main offender has been added to wanted lists nationwide. According to our sources, the 6 suspects were at the Hinamizawa Dam construction site workroom on the night at 9 p.m., where they are suspected to have assaulted and murdered the site overseer as a group, dismembering his body and hiding it. On the date in question, at 8 o'clock in the morning, a report was filed by the Shishibone City Hospital in which a male suspect alluded to having murdered Mr. Blank. When questioned at the police station, the individual confessed to the crime. Says a portion of the body was recovered at the location he gave. He was arrested that afternoon on suspicion of murder and mutilation of a corpse. The rest of the suspects were arrested the same day, but the main culprit is still at large. Police are currently on his trail. The motive is purported to be a drunken verbal dispute during which he killed the victim in a fit of anger. However, as there are multiple inconsistencies with their testimonies, the investigation is ongoing. Alright. We shall save. And we shall continue. Those were actually fairly short clues considering the clues we got last time. A Colonel Sanders? Ah, of course, that's right up her alley. I understand her wanting to take home Satoko and Rika-chan, but I can't understand the Colonel Sanders. What's so good about that four-eyed geezer? Probably better to hear from Rina, don't you think? She'll probably just say, because it's so cute, though. Does Rina often go to the construction site to hunt for treasure? Every now and then she says she's going to have to Every now and then she says she's going to have a look. But a girl her age rummaging around in garbage is, well, if Rina enjoys it, then I think it's fine. What were they doing over there? Dam construction? It had been bugging me since yesterday, like an itch I couldn't scratch. Haha, it was cancelled a long time ago. Everyone gathered together and fought against it. Hearing an ominous word like fought come from Rika-chan's mouth startled me. That's right. It was unbelievable. They said Hinamizawa would be sunk into the reservoir and we had no say in the matter. So I'm only able to be here because the protest succeeded. That's interesting. I'm sorry. I didn't keep you, did I? My deepest apologies, Keiichi-san. It took me a while to powder my nose. Satoko, wait, to use the can until you're ready to have to go. Until you really have to go. It's a lot easier since it shoots right out. Eek! Eek! How dare you speak that way to a maiden of unparalleled beauty such as myself? Who is she calling a maiden? If Satoko really was a maiden, she wouldn't have reacted like that. The usual hijinks ensued. Now then, gentlemen, in accordance with the rules of our society, I bring a point to discussion. Me, Keiichi Maebara-kun, he, not me, Keiichi Maebara-kun wishes to include you as members in our activities. What do you say? What say you? Rina has no objection. Oh ho ho ho. I wonder if the likes of this peasant is up to the task. Me and Satoko both approve. The three that Mion had queried voiced their approval. A unanimous decision. Congratulations, Keiichi Maebara-kun. I present you with the honor of being allowed to take the entrance exam for our club. Start from the beginning. I didn't say I would join. What club is this? Well, what our club does, you see, is in order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities under different sets of rules. Sometimes they're in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. I'm pretty weak, so I'd prefer if you didn't single me out. Let's try to get along. You're so naive, Rina. The law of the jungle is survival of the fittest. This was starting to sound a bit sketchy. So what kind of club was it? To sum it up, it's a club where we play games together. Rika-chan was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. So basically this club put Mion's hobby of collecting games to use. By playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day, it seemed that depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finished in last place. I'll make this clear right now. We aren't playing house here. You should treat each win or loss as if your life depends on it, alright? What's wrong with just having fun? Don't make it sound so crazy. first rule of our society. Aim only for first place. Going at it half-assed just because it's a game is not allowed. Rule number 2 of our society. For that reason, you are obligated to make all possible efforts. The way Satoko said it, it sounded like she was saying use any means necessary. Of course, I will do my best to. Of course, I will do my I'm pretty weak, but I'm trying my best. I knew what they were trying to say. In a game where everybody is aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike to just play for fun. To play just for fun. Alright, then I too will go all out. With that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation, my baptism into the club. Word of warning, K-chan. Rina can get pretty nasty. This initiation looks like it's going to be rough. Mion began fishing around in the student lockers in the back of the room. They have the games here at school. Well, it's club equipment, so I guess that's fine. Complicated games would put K-chan at a disadvantage, so today we'll play a game that you should be familiar with. How about a standard card game, like Old Bachelor? Alright, let's do this. Can't really get into it unless there's a penalty. This time, the loser will be sentenced to having their face drawn on. What do you think? Whoa, whoa, whoa. It won't be oil-based paint, right? Right? Oil-based. Face painting with oil-based paint. That is perfect! Satoko cheered the idea on. She didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty. Seems like she was raring to go. If it's going to be like this, then I can't lose either. Then I'll just cut the deck and start dealing. Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as Old Maid. There's only one difference, there's no Joker. In its place, one card is pulled out at the start, meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end. You don't know which card will end up being the Joker. It's a pretty thrilling game. I'll take out the card now. Rina took out one card and left it face down on the table. Everyone stared at the card intently. Well, it'll be pretty obvious in the end game. No way to tell at the start. But the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to the one face down, all the while gauging each other's reactions. It was as if they could see the face down. It's as if they could see what the face down card was. No, it couldn't be. This deck is pretty worn out. No way. Can everyone tell by the scratches that what the card on the table is? Remember the second rule of our society, Keiichi-san must try his hardest to win as well. A number of cards are quite unique. Keiichi-kun should be able to remember them pretty quickly. She said that so matter-of-factly. Suits me fine. Don't think a little thing like that can be your crutch. I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious I was at a disadvantage. After all, they'd gone so far as to memorize the wear and tear for each individual card. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. If this was a test, and then they were playing with the answer sheet in front of them. Bring it. I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. that baseless confidence would soon be crushed. Kikikike. How about I tell you your hand starting from the right? 3, 4, 9, Jack, Queen. Why? By the way, the Bachelor is the Jack of Diamonds. Gah. I can tell what they are even if you switch them around. Ugh. I thought I was prepared but for it to be this brutal, just overwhelming. Demons, you're all demons. Rina isn't a demon, are you? Sorry, Keiichi-kun. This is the 3 of hearts, isn't it? I'm out. Oh wow! Not even a hint of mercy. Rina, even Rika-chan. These club activities weren't to be trifled with. An alumna of the club would definitely survive in the cruelest. Sorry about that. Kinda wish it locked my cursor out of the screen, but then again, I'm not usually moving my cursor too much to worry about it. Would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. If our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a death match on a deserted island, these guys would probably take to it like fish to water. I can already picture their joy as they hunt down each of their classmates. It's a lowest point system. The order itself dictates the points. Whoever has the lowest point total wins. Since Keiichi finished last, he has 5 points. There's already a 5 marked on my scoreboard. I think it's unfair to Keiichi-kun if we don't use a new deck. It's fine. Kei-chan is a man after all. He can turn the tables even if the odds are stacked against him, right? It's fitting for a lonely peasant to scamper home and soak their pillow in tears, don't you think? A petite hand laid itself on top of my head, which was trembling from uncontainable frustration. It was Rika-chan's. Keep on fighting, yeah? Thanks to Rika-chan's words of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I could muster during this crisis. Think clearly, Keiichi Maebara. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. It's just as Rina said, each card has its own distinct markings that made them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory. Whoa, great, Keiichi-kun, just like that. I covered the uniquely marked cards with my hands, or other cards, arranging them in such a way that they couldn't be seen. The one with the ripped corner should be a 5, and I'm out. I couldn't let any of those previous precious hints slip by me. All information is a weapon. Then it's my turn. Satoko fanned out her cards for me. You see, I want the 7. Is it this one? I wonder about that. You won't know unless you take it. There's a bit of dismay in her expression, like she doesn't want it taken. That kind of expression. I won't let that momentary lapse slip by me. I know. It's this one. Got it. Seven of spades. A cheer of ooh rang out. What is this? The seven should be the hardest one of all to tell apart. It wasn't from memorizing the markings. Those slight changes in their expressions was all what expressions as I was selecting a card were enough. Can't hide it from me, K-chan. This mark means it's the two of diamonds. What? She was startled by her own misread. Of course, everyone else was too. Whoa, it's rare that Mi-chan gets a card wrong. No. K-chan, could it be you? They told them apart by different marks. That mark was a nail scratch, so I put a new one on it. Are you saying he disguised it as the two of diamonds? What an impressive show of wit. K-chan landed a clean hit. Clap, clap, clap. That's great, Keiichi-kun. That was an incredible match, you know? Having defeated the Forerunner Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. But by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish last. I laughed haughtily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerves. Well, I'm going to end up the loser, but I'm satisfied with one-upping Mion at the end. Wahahaha! That should be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who was at the top already and ensured victory. Even if K-chan gets first place this round, he'll still end up last place overall. Don't you hate that? Of course I do. Let's have a duel, one chance. If you win, then we'll swap first and last place. How about it? Are you up for it? She fell for it. A chance for an upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it. One chance, you say? Let me hear the rules. Mion discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced one with the Joker card. That was on the table, then shuffled the resulting hand behind her back. The card in my hand, or the card in my right, or the card in my right, or the card in my left. If K-chan gets which hand the Joker's in, then he wins. When you turned around just now, you didn't pull out the Joker, did you? If you lose, I'll show you the card in the other hand. That okay? The other 3 gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of events. Alright, you've got it. Mion grasped 1 card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First, I need to inspect them closely. The card on the right has no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell which one it was. Which one, I wonder? Keiichi-kun, be careful. Yeah, of course, this is my chance for a big comeback. Looking closely at the card in her left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't the one I had it wasn't one I had seen before. Ah, that card is... I didn't let that bit from Satoko slip by me. Mion clucked her tongue. I didn't recognize the mark on the left card from the small number that I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Satoko's reaction the card had already appeared during the game. Since it had already appeared before, it meant that it definitely wasn't the Joker. Oh, K-chan thinks it's the one on the right? Will you choose that one then? Will you? The left card definitely wasn't the Joker, but I could trust that theory. If I could trust that theory, then I should have been able to declare that the card to the right was the Joker. Even without Mion's taunting, the one on the right was the most suspicious. But wasn't it a bit too rash to decide based solely on Satoko's reaction? More carefully. I remember now. That mark, the left card, no doubt about it. The 7 of clubs. It's the 7 of clubs, I see. I've won. The card on the left was the 7 of clubs, so that means the one on the right that was the Joker. And then just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. I would expect no less from you. There was a wave of murmurs amongst the onlookers at my sudden halt right before I confirmed the right card was the Joker. Huh? What could Keiichi-san possibly be saying? I mean, the left one is... Shh. Oh. What makes you so certain that the right one isn't the Joker, Kei-chan? Mion let loose an unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled. I don't know what the card on the right could be, but I know the one on the left is the 7 of clubs. Then, doesn't that leave the one on the right as the Joker? One of them has to be the Joker, right? Yeah, one of those is the Joker, right? Kei-chan has good intuition. Huh? Rika-chan, what do you mean by... So basically, the 7 of clubs, I discarded that by matching it to Satoko's 7 of spades earlier. Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that sloppy pile. So that means Mion pocketed one of the discarded cards, then aligned it over the left card, and that means... I see, I get it. This left card is being disguised as the 7 of clubs, right? It was the first time since the start of the match that a shadow ran across Mion's expression, and I didn't let that slip by. Then, with a grand flourish, I declared it loudly. The Joker is the left one. It was an intense moment. That 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking that silence, the first one to speak was Mion. Being the first president of this club, I've been witness to a variety of performances, Kei-chan. Yours is the best. The best of the best of the best. That was probably the greatest compliment Mion could give. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory. Rika-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory. And we will be ending this episode here, so if you enjoyed it, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more content in the future. And until next time, everybody, have a good one. I'll see you later. Bye!